Hello and welcome to Williams Dog Training Company. We're here today with Fred and Tank, and what we're going to be demonstrating for you today on video is Tank's ability to understand and respond to his obedience commands, the corrections and motivations that we give while we're working with the dogs, and also the training equipment that we're using. Fred is using a regular 6-foot training leash, and he's going to keep the bulk of that leash folded neatly in his right hand, leaving his left hand free to give the correction. And the correction, if need be, is a tug and release on the training collar, which is the second piece of equipment that we're using. Tank's been fitted with his own personal training collar. Now you also see that Tank is sitting very nicely on Fred's left-hand side, and that's where all of our obedience training takes place. The first command they're going to demonstrate is heeling, which is proper walking on a leash. The command that you're going to give is Tank heel. And you're going to simply start walking, and you'll notice that Tank has been trained to walk nicely on your left-hand side at your pace, and he should not be lagging behind nor lunging ahead on that leash. Also incorporated into our heeling exercise is an automatic sit. So anytime that you're out walking with Tank and you stop your feet, he's to sit nicely right there at your left heel position. He's to remain seated in that position until you give him another command or give him praise. Now we're going to demonstrate the stay command, a hand and voice command. Use the open flat of your left palm in front of his muzzle, and the command to stay. When you're practicing your sit-stay at home, start at around 30 seconds, and upon his continued success, increase your intervals, working up to a total of 3 minutes for your sit-stay. When Fred returns back, he walks all the way around. His Tank should remain seated the entire time. Great job. Gives him a little pet there, and I'll demonstrate that heel sit and stay for you again. It's important to make it fun and motivating for Tank while working him through his commands. Use lots of positive reinforcement and let him know that he's doing a good job by praising him. Instead of returning back to heel position, we'll demonstrate the recall or the come command this time. Tank comes in, sits nicely when called, and then returns to heel position around the back to your left-hand side, sitting nicely, waiting for his next command. Excellent job, and they'll go ahead and demonstrate that recall command for you again. Calls him in, comes in and sits nicely, very nicely done, and around the back to the left-hand side, sitting nicely. Great job. Now, if any time that you're working Tank through his commands and he does not complete them appropriately, or he displays any inappropriate behavior during some time in the house or even outside, first words out of your mouth are a nice firm no, followed by a tug and release correction on that correction collar if need be. Repeat the command as well. Next command is the down command from heel position. Open flat of your left palm straight down towards the ground. One word command to down, and then give that stay command before out the end of your leash. You want to make sure you're practicing your down stay frequently at home to help build up his self-control and maturity skills and enable him to down stay for longer periods of time. Again, start at around 30 seconds and increase your intervals, working up to a total of 5 minutes for your long down stay. Fred returns back. Again, same with the sit stay all the way around, and Tank should remain laying down. Great job. Although you're going to be incorporating all of your commands into your everyday life, you're also going to be sure to set aside 10 to 15 minutes every day to work Tank through his commands in a formal obedience training session such as this video here. It's great practice for the both of you, and also helps greatly with the transition back into the house and learning the new rules and incorporating your commands. We'll demonstrate the recall command from the down position for you this time. Good boy. The last command that we have to demonstrate for you is the down from a distance. So Fred and Tank are going to heel into position for this command. You're going to leave Tank in a sit-stay. Out to the end of your leash, you're going to use your right hand to give him the down command from the end of the leash, where you should drop into a down directly where he's sitting. Good job. Very nicely done. Now what Fred is demonstrating for you is the next step in our intermediate off-leash training, where he's dropping the leash and just increasing his distance between himself and Tank. This is something that you'd be able to work on in the future if you're very diligent and consistent when you're on-leash training. You want to make sure that he is following commands from you 100% of the time before you advance to dropping the leash. With time, you're able to build up that confidence between yourself and Tank for him to listen and respect you, and you'll be able to advance towards that. So we've demonstrated for you today all the obedience commands that Tank has learned here at school. It's been a pleasure working with Tank. We do ask that you keep us posted on his progress on his return home, and thank you again for choosing Williams Dog Training Company as your personal dog trainer.